Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to do a little demo on quick breads, banana muffins, maybe banana bread, and maybe blueberry crumble muffins. And then I'm going to also make I think it'll be a banana day, so it'll be banana cream pie. So quick breads, two different kinds, one banana bread and one muffins, and they are different because banana bread's large, and so it needs more leavener in order to oh, there's Chef Cordes.
Morning.
In a meeting, and you guys aren't there. Well, it was fun. So Chef Cordes and I had a little chat about stuff. So yeah, cream pie and quick breads and muffins. So I'll be starting that now. I'll probably make one long giant video instead of a whole bunch of small ones. So here we go. I'm gonna start, and happy Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what class you're in. Okay, so start with banana bread. This is the loaf pan I'm gonna use. It's just a bunch of small loaves. I have brushed it out with margarine and then dusted it with flour. That's your best bet for keeping things not sticking in pans. I've got the oven preheating to 375. It would be 350 if it was a convection oven, or even 325 if it was one of the ovens at school, because they're pretty quick. This oven tends to be a little bit slower, so I turn the temperature up a little bit. I have everything scaled out here. One cup of brown sugar. Sorry. 3 bananas. Now, so I buy those on sale when they're on the used fruit rack at the back of the grocery store, and then I freeze them. 2 whole eggs. Those are the basically the first liquid ingredients, and then we have 1 teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there. It's sort of separate out. The lighting's kind of bad. Let me just turn this other light on. I don't know if that's better. Anyway, so I'm just going to set those aside for a second. I'm just going to remind everyone of the methods we use for measuring flour. We scoop and sweep when we're using a measuring cup. So this particular recipe is calling for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm scooping the flour into the cup and then sweeping off with the handle of the spoon. So that's 1 cup of flour. That must have been loud. And then 1/2 cup of flour. Okay. Now what do we always do in this case is we take our other dry ingredients, the leaveners and the salt, and we whisk those together so that they're very well combined. Some bakers, Rose Levy Berenbaum, who writes amazing baking cookbooks, if she was doing this, she would actually put it in a blender to make sure it's very, very randomized. Okay, so that's our flour, baking soda, baking powder. We're going to mix together our other things. Our brown sugar, 1 packed cup. Brown sugar is always packed. Brown sugar is 99% of the time a liquid ingredient, not a dry ingredient. That's very important to remember. We're not talking about the creaming method. Creaming method is different, right? Creaming method is fats and sugars together, beat, add eggs. This is for making quick breads or banana bread. So we're mixing our liquid ingredients together. We've got eggs, brown sugar, and banana in here. That's it. And then normally we add wet to dry. And the thing to keep in mind when we're mixing things like this is that you don't want to overmix them. Okay, so we just fold it together. Now, this is going to be for my kids. So I'm going to throw in half a bag of milk chocolate chips. Milk chocolate chips go so well with banana bread. And again, we undermix this. So there's still going to be a little bit of dry ingredient striping through. I'm going to call that done. Okay? I know it bothers me too. I want to continue mixing it, but that's not what we do with banana bread. Oh, it's good. Okay. So we scoop our batter. You can see the bubbles forming. That's the baking soda already starting to act. Baking soda acts as soon as it gets wet, pretty much. I'm only getting a 5, so I'm going to put a little bit more in some of these. Okay, so the whole point here is to talk about the mixing method. This is a quick bread. Quick breads are muffins. Quick breads are banana bread, lemon loaf. It's basically anything that doesn't use yeast is a quick bread. So what are the leaveners in this? The leaveners are baking soda and baking powder, not yeast. All right, those are going to go in the oven. And then I'm going to do the blueberry muffins. Okay, so the banana muffins are in. The next thing I'm going to do is a blueberry muffin. So I'm going to use the basic muffin recipe that we use, and then flavor with optional things. And one of the things I'm going to do is to put a crumble top on the blueberry muffin, because I really like blueberry muffins with crumble top. And I'm cooking, so it's my choice. So we always make a crumble top in a mixer. So again, here we have that's brown sugar, or sorry, that's the all-purpose flour, so it's 215 grams of white flour, 175 grams of rolled oats. We have 255 grams of brown sugar, a half a pound of butter, and butter, not margarine this time. Margarine is what went in the banana bread. And then we've got baking soda and baking soda and salt. So I'm just going to put all this in the mixer at the same time. And this is how we make it at school. And often it gets overmixed. We want it to be crumbly. So I'm putting it on the mixer. And we're going to run it until it's a crumbly mixture. All right, that's been mixing for a couple of minutes, and you can see it's a uniform kind of color. Uniform wrong color, but you can see it's crumbly. It's not become a cookie dough, and it all looks nice and kind of damp, I guess. Like it's been moistened by the brown sugar. Okay, so that's the crumble top we're going to use on top of the blueberry muffins. Okay, so here with the plain muffin. So I've given you the recipe, a basic muffin mix times 1/2. It's still a pretty big recipe. I've already measured everything out. 5 cups of all-purpose flour. I subbed in 1.5 cups of whole wheat. So took out 1.5 cups of white flour, and I've also added a handful of oats and about 1/4 cup of milled flax seed. I'm doing this because I think muffins, because they have such a huge amount of oil in them, should be at least a little bit healthy. So that's the baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt. And we're going to combine these things well. The other reason for the extra ingredients, the extra oats and the extra flax meal, they both will soak up liquid. And I'm going to add blueberries to this muffin batter. And so I need to be a little bit concerned about how much liquid the blueberries are going to give off. Now the liquid ingredients, right, or the wet ingredients, we've got 3 cups of brown sugar, that's a lot. 2 eggs and the vanilla extract, it's 2 teaspoons. 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. Ugh. Reason not to eat muffins. You can sub applesauce and different things, stewed prunes, for a lot of the oil in muffins. And it works out fine. And then 2 cups of buttermilk. And that really is buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can just add a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar to regular milk and let it sit for a few minutes. It's called, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, clabberding, when you do that to milk. So clabbered milk or clabbered milk, lemon juice, vinegar, another acid. You could add a little bit of yogurt if you want to add that sort of sourness. Okay, so I've got all my liquid, I've got all my dry, and I've got about 1.5 cups of blueberries that I'm going to add in. So I'm going to combine these two, and again, I don't want to overmix. So I'm going to use sort of a folding technique to get these two things together. And when I'm about half mixed, mix, 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 throw in the blueberries. I'm not going to put cinnamon or lemon zest or anything. I just want blueberry. Okay, so again, I really hate undermixing. I always mix too much. That's got to be enough. That has to be enough. Okay, so there's my blueberry muffin batter. Now, I'm not going to bake all of this. I'd have 5 million muffins. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bake a couple, and then the rest of them I'll put it in the fridge in the container, and I can scoop and bake them as I want. Right, so there's my muffin tin. Quicko changeo. I'm just going to use a basting brush and a little bit of margarine just to give these non-stick deal. I'll do three muffins. It wouldn't be a bad idea for me to dust a little bit of flour. And so you just sort of shake that around and then dump out the excess. So those three are ready. Portioning is always important, even at home. I find I have my own set of these scoops. I was going to do 1, 2. I find if you fill the, people say, how do you get such big muffins? We just put more batter in the pan, man. And then also, like, if you've been careful and make sure you grease the tops too, the sides, like the whole muffin tin. A, it's cleaner, it's easier to clean, and B, when the muffins get little tops on them, muffin top, then it's easier to get them out of the pan. And then we're going to put some of our crumble top, delicious, on there. Squish it in a little bit so it gets a good purchase, like it actually sticks to the muffin and not falling off. Okay, then those are going to go in the oven, but I have to pull out the banana bread, which I'm sure you've been wondering about. Oh, those look beautiful. And that's going to go in there. So same temperature. Okay, I'm going to get these out and onto a cooling rack so they don't get all, they have to sit for a little bit to cool a little bit, just so the sugar sets up, but I don't want them in there too long because they'll get a little bit wet underneath. They'll sort of, all right, so there's quick breads. We did 2 different versions. A plain muffin batter that we flavored with blueberries, and then a banana bread. That's my mom's banana bread recipe. And that's it. So I'm going to take a bit of a break, and which will be completely invisible to you. And then this afternoon we'll be making banana cream pie. Okay. There's the blueberry muffins out of the oven. They look great. Still very hot. We should wait till the sugar sets up a little bit before they'll come out of the pans. But I'll show you everything when they're all out of their pan. Things of beauty.